It's Roxy the Realtor with Scotty Girl and Miss Chloe. Today we're talking about the differences between an emotional support animal and a service dog and housing regulations. What qualifies a dog to be a service dog? Well, under ADA, the American Disabilities Act, a service animal is defined as a dog that has been individually trained to do work or perform tasks for an individual with a disability. To date, cats are not legally service animals, only dogs. The task performed by the dog must be directly related to the person's disability. How do you qualify to have an emotional support animal? For an animal to be recognized as an ESA, the owner must qualify through a certified therapist or any other clinical professional. ESAs do not perform specific tasks, and therefore certification can be for any domesticated animal such as rabbits, birds, rats, ferrets, mini pigs, hedgehogs. After going through initial screenings with a qualified professional, an emotional support letter is given to the person who's seeking to have their pet be an ESA. Two of the major causes for emotional support animals is anxiety and depression. So the difference between an emotional support pet and a service dog would be that the service dog can be trained to fetch medications or prevent people from coming near you if they're sensing that an anxiety attack is coming on. For an emotional support pet, you need to meet the criteria. For a service dog, the dog must also meet the criteria and be properly trained. Also, service dogs wear vests in public, which identify them as a service dog. ESA animals, they do not wear vests in public, but have to maintain good behavior. On to federal housing laws. Under federal fair housing laws, emotional support animals must have access to apartments and managed associations, even if they have a no pet policy. Landlords cannot charge an extra pet rent or a pet security deposit for service dogs or emotional support animals. FHA, Federal Home Administration, prevents housing providers from imposing breed and weight restrictions on both ESA and service dogs. Landlords may not ask the nature of your disability, but can require proof that the animal is an emotional or service animal. Landlords cannot discriminate against breeds of an ESA animal, but if the animal has a track record of getting complaints, barking excessively, or a threat, and they have evidence of it, then they may refuse rent. For example, if your landlord calls the previous landlord and the animal gets a bad reference in writing, then they can refuse to rent to you. Traditional care applies to any animal. Pet waste must be picked up promptly and properly disposed of, and the owner must have the animal leashed when outside, and the pet may not become a nuisance to neighbors. In summary, it's usually best for a landlord or a homeowners association to treat emotional support animals as a service dog and allow them access to lease or home ownership. If you're denied housing for emotional support animal, you may have grounds to file an investigation of discrimination of the American Disabilities Act. I hope you find this information helpful.